Let's get busy.
Billy Smith is in the house.
Yeah, what's up, yo?
Me and Billy. I don't know if you know the story of me and Billy. We've kind of come full circle.
Yes, we have.
Yeah.
We're actually friends now. Before, I'm the type of guy. I'm pretty standoffish about a lot of people in the business. In the industry we're in, there's a lot of people that like to use their power to fluctuate things, to bring either, what do you call women, whatnot, into their life, and they use directors, producers, people like that. They use that power,
Yeah.
and it's like I've always been against it. I guess I could say that because maybe I have a little bit more going for me sometimes than the most. Because if you're on the opposite side of the camera, if you're the model, if you're that guy, they're giving if you're the actor, whatnot, they give you that kind of attention.
Mm-hmm.
So that shouldn't be so easy to judge, and I should be a little bit more.
Well, I want to share the story. And then
Okay.
welcome, Nicole. Nicole's there.
Hello.
Nicole, are you like Louisville all your life, or where are you from?
I was born in Louisville, but I've lived in Shelbyville all my life. Yeah.
Okay, so still in the state.
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome. Yeah, we.
This is a fun story, though.
It is. Well,
Kind of.
well, this goes back to my Ambien days. I don't know if do you know this story? Maybe not.
Probably
so,
not.
and
Probably not.
I'm not going to go too deep, but Ambien, if you take it as directed, it works. You take it, get your ass to bed, you fall asleep. My problem is I take it, I don't always go right to bed. So I will, in 30 minutes, 45 minutes, I'm physically functioning, my mind's in a fog. And the phone, the laptop, just shooting the shit.
I can't blame him, though. To be honest, I date extremely beautiful women.
You do.
And
But see, wasn't I trying to get this person on the podcast? Wasn't it podcast related?
at first.
Okay, and then I took it a little
And
step
you
further.
took it a step
I was being a little flirty, and the next thing I know, I don't know how much after the fact this was. And here's the thing: I'm doing shit. The next day, there's no evidence. I could text, I somehow delete it. I'm messaging, I delete it. So Stephanie Chaney, you know Stephanie Chaney?
I do.
Stephanie,
Well, we've shot
yeah,
together.
she's great. I don't know, she just
Beautiful person.
yeah, I love her. She reached out to me. She's like, Kevin, we need to talk. So we chatted. She's like, you got put on blast on this art, some kind of a Facebook page. And I'm like, for what?
The group,
And-
the model page.
Yeah, and then she's like, you were just misbehaving late at night. I was like, oh shit. So I found out it was you. And I
Which
reached
is
out
not
to you.
this is not the best
No,
person to
no.
to be honest. I did get punched
But-
in the head for over 10 years.
But if I recall, I reached out to you. I was like,
You did.
dude, man to man. My apologies.
Yep.
It was an Ambien moment, and actually that moment got me to stop taking Ambien. Got me off because the Ambien thing was getting out of control. So there was some. Clearly, he was upset with me. I thought I made peace. Said my thing, apologized, and it's been a while. I want to say a couple of years.
Yeah, that's been over a year, maybe
yeah,
two.
maybe close to 2.
Yeah.
So, on Facebook you get, these friend suggestions. And the truth is, that conversation, I totally forgot. So you kept popping up as a suggestion because, I'm starting to interact with all the film people. And
Sure.
So I'm like, we got all these mutual friends, 246 as I'm looking. And he's a model, he's an actor. I knew you were part of Antonio's project.
Sure,
I'm
sure.
like, clearly, I want to get this going. I'm sure he's got a great story. Friend request. I get a message. Why are you, basically, why are you bothering me, basically? And I was like, I'm like, what are you talking about? And then he explains. I'm like, oh, shit, that's you. That was you.
Yeah.
And then I saw you at Antonio's premiere, One Must Fall premiere.
I was with Christina Chanel.
You were
at the
at the
moment.
bar.
Yeah.
I wanted to come up to you and just clear the air. He wanted
I was
nothing to do.
already drinking
He had
at that point.
And he was like, just shooed me away. And I was like, oh, wow. I'm like, and then I'm thinking, man, this is good.
That was bad for me. I should have been more polite.
that's fair.
I could have been accepting
You
then,
know.
and it just been like, let's be over, because I wasn't even with Christy at that point anymore.
Yeah. So, and I'm thinking, dude, this is going to kind of be awkward a little bit because we're starting to now. I'm starting to think we're going to like see each other because of our
Yeah.
little clique.
Yeah.
And then the roast happens,
Yep.
and you kind of did a 180.
I did a 180 because when I think back about it, I to be honest, I can't blame any man for being attracted to the women that I date. To be honest, I mean, nine out of 10. Not to say it. Right?
I don't
Nicole
know.
Nicole is gorgeous.
You're starting to drink, and I'm like,
yeah. But 9 out of 10 men will probably hit on whatever kind of girl I'm with, and I get that.
but you got to be. That's a little bit of a. That's a little, kind of flattering.
Yeah, well, it is,
Okay.
and I should have took it differently. But of course, when you're getting the girl itself that's saying, "Hey, this is going on with me," it's almost you get in defense mode because she's
Absolutely.
bringing it up to you.
Yeah.
And usually, I'll let whatever girl I'm with, like if we go out to bars, clubs, whatever I'm at, if somebody's hitting on them, I'll let them handle that. And if it gets excessive or something, then I'll step in.
Exactly.
But in the beginning, I'm more like, hey, I'll just be cool. But she kept trying to say, hey, what's going on here? What's going on here? And I was like, well, I'll say something. That's kind of where it went.
So at the roast,
I had a beautiful time at the roast, by
Yeah,
the way.
we had
It
fun.
was so much fun. And believe it or not, Dusty Lee, I love him to death.
Yeah.
He had nothing but good things to say to me before the roast. And if anything, he roasted everybody else and just talked me up. He's like, Billy, there's only one pretty girl in here, and you're with them.
Yeah.
And he's like, but you're always with them.
You're always
You're always with the most beautiful girl. I was like, it ain't really like by chance, man. I can't really.
You're doing your thing. I mean, it's not. Props, respect for you
Yeah.
to be attracted to beautiful women, but at
Yeah.
the same time too, I'll call it the way it is, in the most hetero way. There's chicks digging you, when you're there, and she probably is feeling it. No, I mean, so it's a two-way street. But
I do get some girls that come up, and I will be with my girl, and they'll come up and say something
Yeah.
to me. It was like, you see, I'm with somebody, right? But
Yeah.
they don't care. Some of them don't.
some
you
don't.
know.
And plus, you probably know a lot of people too.
In Louisville, it's huge.
Yeah.
I mean, I did live out in L.A. when I was 12.
Really?
My brother was
Okay.
a Warner Brothers sound technician. So he did Beetlejuice, RoboCop, Michael
shit.
Jackson's Moonwalker. His name's Jay Smith.
Okay.
And or it's Douglas Smith in the credits, whatnot.
Gotcha.
But I got to live out there and get to see what that lifestyle was like when I was young, and it attracted me to it. Now,
Yeah, I'm sure.
the only thing that we had different as far as movies went or that stuff went, our grandfather, mine and Jay's grandfather, was famous. He, as far as back in the early '40s and whatnot, he was doing movies when movies were just starting, so to speak. He did West of the Alamo, Six Gun Serenade. He was one of the first 10 members of Grand Ole Opry.
Oh, really?
So he wrote Beautiful, Beautiful Brown Eyes, More Pretty Girls Than One. Have you ever
Didn't
heard
you just
of
do that?
I redid a track that he did.
Yeah.
I put it in my own
Yeah.
version,
Yeah.
and we're going to release that. Yeah, I love music.
Yeah.
The music's in my
can
blood.
Tell. And
But,
that's another thing we have in common.
Oh, I love music. Music, creativity, period.
Okay.
I think everybody needs to keep a creative mind, and that keeps you alive. It keeps you functioning, keeps you happy. Without creativity, you can just get in a hole sometimes where depression or just life itself can just beat you the hell up.
Mm-hmm.
You need things that make you want to get out and enjoy your life. I don't care if it's a hobby. Make it a hobby. Do anything that keeps you motivated and keeps you moving and enjoying your life. Some people just want to go to work every day, come back, watch the boob tube. It's such a boring life. Pick up something, whether it's a tool, whether it's a pencil, whether
A microphone.
a microphone,
Yeah, that's it.
right? And do something.
And the podcasting has really allowed me to. I love conversation, and I'm always. I feel like I'm someone who knows a little bit about a lot of things, enough to engage. And if I don't know, learn me, educate me.
Right.
I'm all about that. And again with you, clearly you're into a lot of shit, a lot of cool shit. And
I get cameoed a lot. I
Yeah.
get to do a lot of things that people didn't expect I was in. They're like, Willie's in that? I'm like, yeah.
are you
Even if it's small stuff,
are you
I don't care.
typecast?
I do get typecast a lot. I play the bad guy a lot, or the cop, or that strong role, whatnot, that kind of stuff. They do that to me a lot.
You like the bad guy, right?
That more than I do the cop, especially with my background. You know what I mean?
We'll get into that. Let's go there.
Yeah. Of course, I was younger. I did a lot of things before I got into boxing that caused me to get into boxing.
Well, let's start. You said Brooks, Kentucky.
Brooks,
So in
Kentucky. So I grew up in pretty much
Shepherd-
it was
is it
yeah, it was
Shepherdsville?
Shepherdsville, and of course I'm Italian. Got some little Cherokee Indian in me, so I'm as you can tell by my skin color, I'm darker.
Yeah.
So a lot of people in that town was really white boys, rednecks, and I had to learn how to
nuts
fend for
hanging off
myself.
the back of their pickup trucks.
Yeah, they didn't like me. You know what I'm saying?
They don't
Who
like
is
the
this
pretty
guy?
boy.
Oh,
Who's that
yeah.
pretty boy?
Yeah, and plus that dark skinned guy. So
Exactly.
I get a lot of they think I was Spanish,
I know.
think I was Puerto Rican, whatever it was. It's
White
like,
is right. You know how. All right, that's enough. Of that.
Well, So I had a guy when I was 14. His dad was a pretty big biker in town and whatnot. He was the kind that always wore the leather trench coat to school and whatnot. And I was always getting in trouble for taking up for my friends. I don't know. People wouldn't really mess with me. They would mess with friends, and then I would end up in a situation taking up for them. Mm-hmm. And, kind of similar to even a girl. You know what I mean? It seemed like I would sooner or later be the one to step up and be defensive.
You know what they call that in movies?
In movies? I don't
Superhero.
Oh, whatever.
I mean, you're the defender. I mean, am I wrong?
I might be able to do Spider-Man. I don't.
What color was your cape?
Oh, I didn't. When it comes down to it, what had started, I had a rough childhood as far as because of that. Because there was a lot of people that I had older brothers, and they was always they like to pick on you, things like that. So I had a mean streak in me anyway. And I had a kid that I was 14 years old, and this is a true story, and it's pretty out there for the public. I mean, it was in news and stuff like that. But I had a kid that tried to stab me in the middle of the hallway in 7th grade. I got the knife from him, and I ended up using it on him.
Oh shit!
This really happened. So, I got
is
him in his
this-
colon
is
a
this-
couple times, and
A couple.
yeah,
Is this a
three
case,
times?
is
Three
this-
times to be exact.
Is this a case where the person who strikes second gets in trouble? Or
Yes,
did-
this is exactly what happened because he attempted,
Right.
but wasn't able to get me with it,
Yeah.
and I managed to get it away from him and use it on him. And I got in some trouble, of course, and I had to do some other things. Well, then when they let me, I was 16 before I was allowed back in public schools.
Oh.
So I went a whole almost 2 years
Wow.
being in juvenile detention, things like that. 16, I get back out, and I have a really good friend. He has a little sister who's ran away, and we found out where she was. We're going to go pick her up. We get over there. The boyfriend's a lot older, and they're talking about we found out she was pregnant while we're there hanging out trying to pick her up. And I just asked the simple question of, do you go to school? Well, he's cussing me, this and that, just like, don't ask me no questions. The next thing I know, he's pulled a gun on me, and he just went all apeshit on me. And, well, we managed to get away from that situation there. Well, I go
Wait,
back,
the last person that pulled a knife, you took it and used it. Tell me you didn't take the gun.
No. This was a situation where I was still inside a truck, and I was in the backseat of a little twin cab truck, and my best friend, who was up front, it was his little sister, and he had his girlfriend sitting beside him. They wouldn't let me out of the truck. I was like, let me out of the truck. They wouldn't let me out because I was wild like that. Anyway, we went to a football game, high school football, and the kid,
Where'd you go to? High school?
Bullitt Central. I was at Bullitt Central. And we went to a high school football game, and the kid was there. He was older than me. And he had a couple of friends with him, and it was kind of the rougher crowd. And they was going around. They said, we seen Billy Smith here, and we're going to jump him. We're going to beat him up, whatnot, 16 years old. And we end up right across the street from the high school. I end up, a friend come over, told me about it. He says, they're outside waiting on you. Well, I go outside, and all I had was my girlfriend with me at the time, and the guy who just told me that, and he is not the fighting type. Right. Let's just say that. So I go outside. So the first one that approached me was him, and he had two buddies on each side of him. Well, I hit him, and when I hit him, it knocks him out. But it knocks him out like buckles his knees forward. I hit him again with my left hand, and I put one foot on each side of him as he fell. I hit him 5 more times. Well, it put him in a coma, and it gave him some blood clots on his brain, and he ends up with some motor skill problems for the rest of his life. Well, I got considered a menace to society at this time. They wouldn't let me go back to public schools. So I didn't have much going on besides concrete work, which I grew up doing since we was 12. My father, my family, we did concrete. Speak of Italians, I don't know, but construction business. Right. And I was working at a horse farm on the weekends, and a guy named Raheem Hassan, his name used to be Billy Hester. He was a middleweight champion. And he loved my work ethic while I was at the farm, and he reached out to me. He says, what do you think about boxing? You ever thought about boxing? I said, not really. And he convinces me, hey, let's start going out to Terry Middleton's in New Albany, and I want to start training you to box. And next thing I know, I'm 17. I'm out working with him. We're doing some fights. We're doing some amateurs, stuff like that. I get up to the age of 19. Jimmy Ellis, the Louisville champion, Louisville legend. Yeah. I was the last fighter Jimmy ever trained.
Oh, wow.
So what happens is a guy named Hired Gosser, who is the manager of Jimmy at the time, he's got Ibn Ali, which is Muhammad Ali's nephew, and they got a thing that Muhammad Ali is is supporting and doing called Ellis Ali Promotions.
Okay.
Well, they see me in the gym at Terry Middleton's, and they see me sparring, and they come up and they ask, they said, are you signed with anybody? Have you thought about, are you pro yet? Are you doing any of these things? I said, no, and no. Well, Billy was still with, or Raheem is still with me, and he's my main trainer at the time. So I end up, I took the bait, I was like, yeah, I'm signed, I'm ready to go. So 19 years old, I turned pro, and I travel with Ellis Ali Promotions. I'm fighting a fight. Now, this is later in my career.
Do you realize at that point, did you realize you were that good?
Honestly,
those cats
I was just always just trying to learn,
Well, I
to
know,
be honest.
but clearly those guys know what they're talking about,
I was young
Okay.
and susceptible to certain things.
Okay.
I mean, I was mean because of just how I grew up in,
But they were
the county and
but
my
were,
brothers.
were they
and
being a
whatnot.
straight shooter with you?
Well, sure.
Okay. that's
Sure.
fine.
I was the
Okay.
first fighter they signed.
Okay. All right.
So I was the first one on the team.
Oh, wow.
And one thing led to the next, and I'm fighting a show. We had an ESPN show, and I'm fighting a kid named Randy Dobbs out of Cincinnati.
Where was
And
that?
it-
Was that here? Or was
No, that was in Cincinnati. It was
Oh,
in
in
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati. Okay.
And I'm fighting this kid. Second round, I get him in a standing 8 count. And this kid was supposed to beat me. And standing 8 count. Well, my trainer at the time, the guy who's brought me up through it, was still Raheem. Now they brought Jimmy on. Jimmy's one of my trainers too, but they kept Raheem on also.
And you're 19 at this time.
19.
Okay.
And turning 20. So this is a little while into. I've had a couple fights before then. They we're in the middle of the standing 8 count, and the referee kind of like separates us in a way. It almost looks like he was stopping the fight. Well, my trainer Billy had fought even before Muhammad. If that gives you an idea of how old he was.
Okay. Yeah.
He thought they were stopping the fight, so he starts to climb up onto the steps onto the apron to come in.
He didn't
like,
get you disqualified, did he?
Yes, this is exactly what happened. You can look back at boxrec.com.
No, I believe you. Oh, yeah.
I was disqualified against Randy Dobbs because of that.
no.
So it set me back in the rankings. Different things
Yeah.
happened. Well, they fired him because of it, and then I just stuck with Jimmy. But I was really never able to regain that kind of motivation that my original trainer had gave me.
Yeah.
Jimmy taught me a lot of things,
Got it.
and I did get to go a lot of journeyman fights. I fought New York, Michigan, Cobalt Arena, St. Louis, Mississippi. We went a few places,
Some legendary place.
but at the same time, I never could regain that kind of imagination for boxing.
Okay.
Like I felt like without him, I stopped learning in a way. I don't know.
You
That
were
sounds
missing
funny.
something.
I was missing something.
Yeah.
And so then after so long of it, I kind of tired away from it. I was traveling with Ibn Ali. It's Muhammad Ali's nephew.
Mm-hmm.
And we're still good friends this day. He still lives in Louisville. I was, Rockman, Muhammad's brother, traveled with us. We had fun. Don't get me wrong, we had fun, but I kind of lost the lust or the zest for wanting to be in the top 50 again.
Mm-hmm.
I just never got back there.
Right.
And so I did mixed martial arts, and I started doing that. And I had some friends of mine called the Ferguson brothers who I grew up with, Josh Ferguson, B.J. Ferguson.
So give me a time frame. When is this?
This is probably more 2008,
Okay.
I guess, right around 2008, maybe 2009, right in that mix. My memory's a little
No, so
funny.
how old were you then?
Oh, man. I don't know. I was pushing 26, 27. Right in that
How old
mix.
are you right now?
I'm 40.
Are you?
Yeah.
You look good.
Thank you.
You look good.
My left cheekbone's actually been crushed from boxing.
Really?
Yeah, I have a deviated septum
Oh,
still. Yeah.
Oh,
Push that thing all the way in, yeah.
look, she's.
I've had my share of punishment. I mean, that scar on my left eye is real. It's like a 9-inch scar. It was hanging over my eye at one time, yeah.
Well, hold that because at the end of this segment, I've got this rapid fire. One of my questions. Well, we'll see. But anyways, continue. So MMA.
I did mixed martial arts, and I trained a little bit jiu-jitsu with BJ.
Mm-hmm.
And BJ was a good friend of mine. We played football together ever since elementary. And he was doing ecstatic, man. He was doing really good as a jiu-jitsu artist here in
Hold on. I will try to edit that out, but there's a part of me would like
Keep
would
it in.
because
Keep it in.
because the
Who cares?
reaction probably was like, what the fuck?
Who cares? So anyway, BJ kind of took me under his wing, and Mike Yanez, and Mike Yanez had a place called the Highlanders out here in the Highlands, and he was trained by Pablo Pavlovich, and they was really good jiu-jitsu guys. all I knew was boxing.
Right.
So I wanted to do mixed martial arts, but at the same time, I'd already started some Kentucky Fight Challenge and Warrior and some things like that. And the first 5 seconds of a fight, once a guy touched my jab or that right hand, it was like immediately, I got to get this guy on the ground. You know, that's just all it was. Mm-hmm. And then I took a fight with Rob Smith at the Broadbent Arena. Rob Ironman Smith, love him to death, great wrestler. He already knew who I was, kind of, so I come juiced for that fight.
He's not. Did he do OVW? I mean, you know what OVW? What I'm talking about.
I don't really know.
Okay, wait,
to be honest,
okay.
I remember a little bit about. I just knew he was a pretty good wrestler.
Okay.
But I kind of chased him at the beginning of the fight. He did Golden Gloves. He was a Golden Gloves boxer, Golden Gloves winner. But I mean, still, I had some of the best trainers around for boxing, so it was kind of hard to outmatch me on my feet. And if I could put my hands on you,
Game over.
game over.
Yeah.
And you know, I chased him around Broadbent Arena one night
That's
inside
why,
the cage
that's
for a minute.
why I'm not gonna let it put your hands on me.
he finally gets me on the ground.
What the fuck?
He finally gets me down. He gets me in a blood choke, which at the time I'd trained some jiu-jitsu, but I had no idea what I was in. And usually it takes about maybe 3 good Mississippis to pass out from this. It took me about 20. I didn't tap, but you know, I'm right there on camera. I ended up passing out. So
You are passing out, not tapping.
not tapping, yeah. I completely blood choked
That's the
out.
ultimate badass move,
Well,
man.
you know.
I mean, really.
So I followed it up for a couple more years, and I kept doing mixed martial arts for a little while. And I have a L4 injury in my back. I poured concrete the majority of my day life. Day job was concrete before I ever did modeling or acting or any of them things. And so I was used to hard work. And so I have L4 injury, and then they stopped letting me pass my physicals because of it.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't allowed to fight no more at all. So I started coaching, and I went from coaching kids and everything, but my main thing was I would teach hands, which I still do today. You know.
You still?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Where's that at?
Well, we do Triple Crown Athletic, and that's up near Florence.
Okay.
And I go up there. I'm
fair.
working with a guy named Jesse Prideslayer, Romans right now. But I worked from everybody from Reuben War, who's here, you know, around Louisville.
heard that
I mean,
name, yeah.
just about everybody, man, has come at one time or another and did some kind of hand work with me. You know,
So you fit that in your schedule too?
I do the best I can because I do boxing sessions for people still, and you know our brother Lee Kuiper, right? I'll be teaching with him soon this weekend, and he goes out, but he reached out, so that was cool. It's like people still reach out to me and like, hey, can I get some sessions with you? Because really the knowledge I have comes from world champions, so it doesn't matter what I did or didn't get to do with it or didn't finish up with it. I still have that knowledge, so I love to hand it on to other people if I can, you know. The funny thing was, the whole reason I had even got into modeling, which when they changed the...
Here's the segue where we go from the fighter to the lover.
Oh, I
the
lost.
lover. He goes, lover,
I
fighter.
lost a lot of followers when I switched from boxing to that. You know, you're looking at a guy. I used to do benefits with the funniest people. Sometimes even Tanya Harding did benefits with me at one point in time, where we had our little pictures
Really?
out selling our pictures and signing autographs.
He goes from boxing shorts to boxer briefs.
But
Calvin
let me
Klein.
explain how this happens. There was
That's why we're here,
outfit
man.
here called Revolution Fight League. Revolution Fight League, and this was a guy named Tom Keaton, I think his name was, and a guy named Brian Van Houten, and they ran this Revolution Fight League, and this is before everything was really starting to pop as far as mixed martial arts. It was still, everybody just knew it as the Ultimate Fighting Championships. You know, UFC wasn't what it was yet, none of that.
No,
But they
but
was getting there.
Yeah, it's getting there.
Bellator, I don't even think was really around yet. It wasn't really like that yet. And he was taking the poster pictures for the fights. And I did some poster picture. He wanted to put me on these posters, and they had a big billboard out in Louisville with me on it. Well, there was a few of us on it, but for that fight. And he said, "Man, you ever thought about modeling?" I looked at him like, "What? What are you talking about?" I don't know. So I turned him down. And then we did another fight.
Hold on. That's when you realize, you know, I do look at myself in the mirror one last time before I leave every time maybe he's on to something. Come on.
At the time, it wasn't really like that,
Okay.
though. I really kind of just, I did keep to myself when it come to them kind of things. I was, you know, I wouldn't
See,
much...
I'm gonna call it the way it is. You're one of these guys that, as you get older, I think it's to your benefit.
Is it?
Am I wrong?
Well, so far it's been it's been nice.
Okay.
I can't lie.
All right, no.
I can't lie. Yeah.
Would you concur?
Thanks, Nicole. I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
No, I mean
He asked me 2 more times,
Yeah.
and I finally bit. And I was like, well, okay, what are you trying to get me to do, man? You trying to get me to stand in my underwear or whatnot? He says, no, we just need you to do some JCPenney ads. You just take and put some clothing on, and we shoot some pictures, and we pay you. And
I mean, you got to look. You have that look. So, and this
that's
is
how it
about when?
started.
Give me a time frame. The
Oh,
modeling.
that was oh man, I guess 2012, maybe.
Okay, so less than 10 years.
No.
No?
Maybe before that, 2011, 2010. It wasn't far after I started with mixed martial
Okay.
arts. It wasn't long after.
Okay.
Because it
So
was
you're
Revolution Fight League.
basically
If I could look back.
30s at this point.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm early 30s at
Okay,
this time.
all right.
And they're, offering me this. I'm like, okay, I'll try it out, I guess. And then next thing I know, I'm modeling almost full time. And I got people reaching out about this and that. And I said, it's just a whole new world to me. And I was like, you mean I don't got to get punched in the face? All you're going to do is just take a picture of me and pay me? Really? Okay, let's do it. And then I got more and more comfortable, and then I kind of branded my own style.
Yeah.
And I didn't really do too much that was outside of my comfort zone. I tried to keep it within reason, and try to be respectful and try to be respectful to the industry and keep my stuff more classy if I could. And I did a lot of duo shoots. It seemed like a lot of other female models wanted to work with me for duo work. As maybe I had that look to where it's like, okay, you represent the stronger man in the photos.
Right.
It's not. I don't have a feminine look.
No, you don't.
So, and some models, male models, do.
Right.
And the majority of Louisville is pretty far and few
And I know
in
you say
between.
that with due respect,
I
but you're
do.
right.
I do.
I think a lot of male models have a more
feminine look.
Yeah.
And I was able to pull off a little bit of, I guess, a diversity. And I was versatile, I guess, and at the same time. So.
Well, I'm going to say this, and no disrespect to the present company here, but you had this fucking hot shoot or modeling session with Ashley. Is that right?
Ashley Hyde?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know Ashley. Yes.
Those were
And now, this was funny.
tastefully done, and it was.
I'll tell you a
was-
story about that
right.
situation. Okay, I'd been split up with my ex for a little while at the time, which was Christy, and she seen the photos. We were still working together some, and I was actually working.
About how long ago was this?
Oh man, 4
it?
months, I guess, 4 months ago.
Oh, so kind of recent then. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, everything's going on
Okay.
recently. To me, it seems like a lifetime, but.
Well, I'm just trying to catch
I'm working
up.
at CMA's and with her, and CMA Chevy had paid me to come out. Pretty much all I had to do was put a shirt on and stand around the festival with Chevy brand, and they paid me to do this. Well, she was working down there at a different part of Chevy, so we both traveled down together because we were still friends, even though we'd split up. I mean,
This
because
is
there was
you
no
and
bad ties between us, me and Christy.
right.
No bad ties, wouldn't like.
I
keep
should
them
know that
around.
person, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Neither of us had, really done anything wrong
Sorry,
to each
Christy.
other.
The Ambien. Just got
We just kind of grew apart. Okay, it is what it is. We kind of grew apart. And I'm working at the Chevy thing. She's seen the pictures, and she brings it up, and she's like, that's not what I wanted to see this morning. I was like,
this morning.
yeah. So anyway, yeah, me and Ashley did a set together that was pretty intense for people to watch and look at, to where and Ashley's kind of blown up since.
Yes.
I'm kind of. It's not like a bragging thing. It just seems like I'm kind of a gatekeeper to people here in Louisville for modeling. Sometimes, if a girl shoots with me, if she's newer, it just seems like she kind of blows up, goes the right direction. But I'm really picky on who I shoot with.
Yeah.
I don't just shoot with any female that reaches out to me.
Well, I mean, your look is strong. It's very manly. I'm just saying, not the typical. And again, no disrespect.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of that bad boy.
Oh,
am
yeah.
I right? Am I?
No, there is.
Yeah. And chicks dig that.
I get
they
it.
still do.
She does. She's a good girl. She's a Catholic girl, Nicole, beside us here.
Yeah. Well, we know about Catholic girls.
Opposites attract. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it, but they do attract. Me and Nicole shot, and I've shot with a lot of models, and I've always been professional about it. I try not to mix business and pleasure at all. Me and Nicole shot together. We did a movie first. We did This Must Be It, and that was by Tommy Baker. And the lead character in that's a guy named Francis Whitaker. Love him to death. This guy is super talented. He's from Louisville.
Okay.
And
Where was
I
this
was
shoot
I was
at?
actually co-producer.
Was that here in town? Or
Well, the filming for that day was here in town at Air Devil's Inn.
oh, okay. Gotcha.
And he added me as co-producer for this because I did a lot of extra help for him, because it seems like if I reach out to people in Louisville, hey, do you want to be involved in this? We're looking for this, this, and this. People know it's usually real stuff. I'm not just putting out something for people to just bite on that isn't going to happen.
Right.
So I try to help him out a little bit, and when I did, he added me as co-producer, and I played a part in his movie also. And she was one of the people at the bar, and we kind of met then.
That's where you met.
And then I had put out a post because I had a girl named Hannah Corbin, that's from Louisville, photographer. She's called the Louisville Photographer.
I've heard that.
And she wanted to shoot with me. And I said, well, let's do a dual shoot. I got a great place for it, really classy. And we wanted to do a classy look, upscale. Everything was really nice. The place we shoot, location, everything's super nice. And I put out a call for it, a casting call. And Nicole was one of the respondents to it. And I was like, I just work with her on this movie. And I've seen her look, and she's just gorgeous. Oh my God, she's just naturally beautiful.
Why are you giggling? It's the truth.
No makeup at all. No makeup at all.
I know
She's
that's.
just
You know
killing
what?
the game.
I'm gonna say there's some natural beauty there. So
She's
please take it as a
just
compliment.
completely
Yeah.
angelic.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh my God,
Yeah.
who is this? That's immediately what I thought. It's like, who is that? So we shot together, and the chemistry was there. We just couldn't fight it. And it was like, man, that shoot turned out great. And next thing I know, we're talking more and more. And then it's like, hey, you want to go to this? You want to go to that? Next thing you know, here we are. And
So how long was it? When was this?
oh man, this has been recent. I don't
Yes,
know.
because well, you were at the roast, so I know it was.
Yes, she came to the
pretty good.
roast with me.
Yeah.
We've been moving. We've been moving a lot, actually. We did a
If
few
it's business,
things.
if you need to answer that, answer.
No, I ain't worried about
Okay,
that.
okay.
Everybody waits on me. I ain't worried about it. Get to me when they get to me. Ask her. My stuff is nuts. I get
Sure.
a lot of response to doing things. Everybody wants to do stuff with me. It's like I will take all the time in the world to try to work with everybody I can.
Well, here's the thing,
and
honestly.
network for people if I can.
In your industry, you got to get it while it's hot. I mean, it's a streak.
You can fall off easy.
Absolutely.
If you stay out of the game for 6 months, you're out of the game. You're out of the game.
Is
You
it-
got to start all over.
Is it even 6 months? Can it be?
I would say more like
maybe
3.
6 weeks.
Yeah, I'd say more like 3, to be
It
honest.
is almost out of sight, out of mind.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. You got to stay busy. You got to keep putting yourself out there, and if you don't, nobody remembers you for very long.
It is the Louisville scene, and this is. Let me go back a little bit. And I'll start with Antonio.
God, I love that guy to
I
death.
mean, who doesn't? Who doesn't?
Who wouldn't?
And
All you have to do is meet him.
I hated.
All you have to do is meet him.
I wanted, the roast
Yeah.
thing. I did one in 2017. Was with a musician, and I wanted to do another one. And I kind of told the story at the roast, but yeah, he was a guest on my podcast, and it just hit me. Let's roast him. And then again, it was like, how do you roast somebody like him?
He's the nicest guy ever.
Very.
It's
But fortunately, I found a bunch of people who were like, we'll do it. We'll figure it out. And we had a great time.
I did too, man.
Yeah.
I loved it. Yeah, I can't say JP is just my God.
You know what? Props to him, man.
Yeah.
He was. I remember this. He started the roast, and right away the bar was set.
Well, of course.
Everyone had to catch up.
Of course, I just got to be in a horse apiece with him. We went yesterday. Me and Nicole was at that yesterday at Below the Line, and they did it at the Tim Faulkner Art Gallery, and it's just his charisma on camera.
He's
He's
a
legit.
badass.
He's legit.
I'm a fanboy of you guys. I mean, I just with Antonio, I got to know, he did music videos, so he was doing videos of friends of mine, musicians.
Yeah.
So that's how I got to know him. And then the movie thing, and then I'm seeing all these degrees, how all you guys connect.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's some good conversation here. And as a podcaster, I'm like, yeah, I can bring on these people who clearly are telling great stories. And yeah, I mean, it's
Well, with Antonio, what happened with that? Me and Antonio was already, kind of friends, acquaintances through modeling because, he was somebody who I loved his work.
he's
When
a
I seen his
photographer
work,
too. We forget
Oh my
he's
God.
he's a great photographer.
In my opinion, probably the best in the world. And when I say that with confidence, to be
Right,
honest.
right.
I mean, I think he doesn't put out a lot of work constantly. He puts out good work. And it's such good that it just lasts. It just sticks in your brain when you see it. It's like something that, well, for
I'm
months
with
it
you.
lasts.
With you.
Well, I, of course, through mixed martial arts and boxing, I started doing some fight choreography and stunt work for film.
Oh,
And I got invited on Devil's Revenge with William Shatner and Jerry Ryan, and I got to be.
was that
doing
the one
some-
that was here?
It was a
it
Cave
filmed?
City. Yeah. We
right.
went down to Cave
Right,
City
yeah.
and did. Well, we did filming all around, but one of the main stunt work that I was doing is Cave City.
I like Jerry Ryan's curves. Just saying.
You know, I'll tell you a story. This is a true story. I'm in stunt work mode at the moment, so I'm in actually one of these drone suits.
Oh.
So I'm in a drone suit, and this is a scene with me and her where she's going to walk around the side of the cave right before I do. And I'm going to tell you a story. I had no idea who Jerry Ryan was at the time. I'm on set with her, cutting up with her, and she's in this funny looking onesie thing that they had on. It's like, you know, something I guess hikers wear or whatever, you know. And I am just so making fun of her at the moment. I have no idea. I just thought she was another actress or whatever. I didn't really know she was as big as she was.
Yeah.
And I said, you know, you look like a Ghostbuster right now. And then the whole rest of the day, she'd come around me, she'd go, na 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 na.
Say good.
Yeah, she was so cool.
Yeah,
and
I
then
like it.
after the set, after the movie, then I realized who she was, and I was
yeah.
like, I was back there just clowning her.
Yeah.
She was cool as shit.
Wasn't it the Star Trek on one of the?
Oh
Star,
yeah. She was big for
yeah,
Star Trek.
yeah,
She's got a
yeah.
big Star Trek fan, following. You know, Comic-Con people know who she is.
Yeah, the ones that she wore in the Star Trek shows was
For sure.
yeah, exactly. So
For sure. But the funny
yeah.
thing about Antonio was this. I come out to do some stunt work for One Must Fall. And I had no idea that he was going to do this for me. But he actually puts me in the movie and makes me pretty much, I'm the hero. I'm the guy that saved Julie.
You are.
You know?
Yeah.
Sorry for the spoiler there, folks. Anyway. But, you know, for the ones that haven't seen it,
Yeah.
you definitely need to watch it anyway.
You know what,
Believe me. It's not that big of a part anyway. But at
No.
the same time, you know, he invited me pretty much, in my mind, he invited me into his home at that point in time. And he's like, look, I got you. Let me get you more than just being this stunt guy for this. And I loved him for it. And the next thing I know, that movie is just blowing up everywhere.
yeah, I'm just to let you know, I'm that night at the premiere. You know, I'm there. You blew me off at the bar, and then I had to sit through the ending to watch you be the hero. I'm like,
So fuck you. Look at fucking dick. Yeah, I'm sorry, man.
No,
I'm sorry.
we're good.
It's the Italian in me. Cheers. Salute. Oh, but I can't not mention Antonio when it comes
No,
to
yeah.
my motivation or inspiration to still be in that industry,
Yeah.
to be a part of modeling and, you know, acting and all that. I
he's
mean,
fucking hot right now. I mean,
and he's going to be making a new movie.
Yes.
And I got to talk to him on the phone. And he's a friend, too. He's the kind of guy that, you know, if you ever need somebody to reach out to, folks, if you ever get in a situation, if you're around Louisville and you know this guy, if you ever get, you know, reach out to him. He'll help anybody. And
Yeah, I've had a conversation like that with him.
God
so-
bless him.
So yeah,
God
He
bless
could-
him. I don't know how he does it. I can't be as nice as he is. I'm trying. It's
Yeah.
like, I just can't
But
do
see,
it.
it's just that's just
Can't do
him. You know, it's not per se. That's just who he is, man.
It really is,
Yeah.
because you cannot fake that.
Yeah, you can't.
To be honest, you can't fake
can't.
it. I've met people that try to fake nice, but yeah, it's
I
not
would've
him.
just been-
He's really.
I think I've been
nice.
around like, Antonio, please complain about something, just act mad. You know, and it's
He don't do it.
yeah, yeah.
He
But you
just
know,
don't do it.
You know, that's he passes off good karma and good vibes for people. So yeah, so.
He does. And to be honest, another thing that I have to mention, this is the biggest thing that's happened to me since I've been in acting. And it's actually spouted and came through Antonio. He reached out to me and asked me to go to LFS, that's the Louisville Film Society, a little get-together that they was having. And he said he couldn't go, and he had asked me, he said he knew a guy named Ramu Gori, and this guy was going to be there. And he might have had some things going on in Louisville. Maybe I should go talk to him. And this guy's from A Big Productions, who's a big Bollywood company. And everybody knows Bollywood's got the money.
Indeed, yeah.
So I show up at the thing, and I almost didn't go. I show up.
Where was this?
This was over at the back door.
Okay.
And I go to the back door, and the guy's there, and he approached me. He said he recognized me. He said, and he asked me, he says, is Antonio coming? And I told him, no, Antonio ain't going to be here tonight. And we got to talking, and he was telling me about what he was doing in Louisville, whatnot. And we ended up just connecting. And then I found out this guy is producing a TV series that NBC's picking up, and he offered me a role as one of the 9 spies in this TV series. It's going to be 58 episodes. And so it was a
58
breakout
episodes.
experience.
That's with NBC. That's a couple seasons.
Yeah, I got like 3 years on the roster.
Right.
And
3. Yeah.
but honestly, this all it stemmed from Antonio.
Okay. Wow.
And when I
When
couldn't
is
thank
this
him
going
enough. Well, off the record here.
Can you? If you can't say, don't say no, because
But
I can respect that.
we got things. It's
We'll come back. We'll come back later for that conversation.
We can be patient,
Okay,
but
all right.
you know, I'm doing what I can to, you know, I've shared the press releases that I can.
But you are contracted to this, right? You're signed and
she
sealed.
actually she seen me. Nicole here, you can chime in. She seen me sign some confidential
good for you.
things just today.
Good
actually.
for you. Absolutely good for you.
But I can mention what I'm mentioning if that's okay.
Okay, no.
You know, I got a wild side to me, so I gotta just watch myself. You know what I mean? A little bit. Like I'll just give you a little quick story. We was out the other night, and I got a friend, Isidro Valencia, really good makeup artist here in Louisville, and we was at the same place, the back door, and I'm there, and somebody wants to take a picture. Who noticed me, and it's the bartender, and he recognized me. He says, "Can I take a picture of you?" And he was going to stand behind the bar where he was and kind of shoot it from behind his head there, and and Isidro's with me, and we're just going to get in the picture and take the picture with him. As we do that, there's a girl sitting next to Isidro, and she kind of like, you know, photo bombs, and Isidro's like, "Hey, you want to take a picture with me? Go ahead."
Get in.
Well, she wraps her leg up over him and everything like that. Well, she's got a boyfriend with her. It's sitting on the right side of that. So he's looking over. He's like, "Seriously?" Well,
He's not feeling that.
yeah, he's not feeling it at all. So he starts to, you know, and then that's when I kind of chime in. I look over and I'm like, "Look, buddy, he's gay. You're cool. It's okay." Because Isidro's gay.
Yeah.
I can say that on the air. He don't
Yeah,
care.
yeah.
Anyway, well, then the guy starts with a little gay bashing. And it's like, I got good friends that are just some of the most beautiful people out there in the world.
No, you
I can mention
don't.
people like Mike Toms, Anthony Toms. They're just great people. And for anybody to ever,
Don't fuck
you
with
know,
my gay friends.
don't really. I'm
They're my
that,
friends.
I'm that
They're
guy.
still my friends.
They're still my friends.
Yeah,
If we're out in a
exactly.
club together, we're out somewhere, I'll take an ass whooping for you. I will, or give one,
Yeah.
one or the other. So that's what happened that night. The other night at the back
gave
door,
an ass whooping?
I gave an ass whooping
Did you?
right in front of Isidro. Yeah.
Were you there?
He was there, but he swung on me first. He hit me first and everything. I only hit him 2 times, but it was enough. Let's just
I
say
only
that.
hit him 2 times, but it was enough.
It was enough. But them are the things I got to watch out for, like, because I am wild.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like,
Does
you know,
alcohol intensify that?
honestly, it's no. You can ask her. She's seen me. I can drink, and I'm
No,
still.
I've been around you. Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
like the type to make other decisions because of alcohol. I will make the same decision sober.
Touche.
Yeah, but I am wild, so I got to watch my streaks. I got to watch the things I do because of that. But at the same time, I'm not really nervous about it. You know, I kind of I stick to myself. I try not to make any too many bad decisions. But
You're taking up for your buddy, man.
well, and the guy did hit me first.
And he did hit you first. Yeah.
Cops seen
Yeah.
it the same way. So, and I had some witnesses. So it was like, okay, we're cool. It is what it is. But it's just a small world in Louisville. When we talk about Louisville, the talent here is extremely. I mean, it's big.
Yeah.
But it's we don't have outlets like we should.
Exactly. Right.
We had started the tax incentive for Kentucky, and it was bringing in some movies. Nicolas Cage came and did Mom and Dad, and some
Right.
people got to be involved in that. Stargazer is still trying to bring, you know, bigger films here, and they're just cutting us out. They're cutting us out because of Bevins, you know, and not that I want to talk politics or anything like that. I'm not a political person.
No, dude, I can talk. I don't mind talking.
You know, but you know, we need them tax incentives. We need things like that. We don't have no NBA here. We don't have NFL. Why not? Why not do something that motivates us to do more, like Atlanta's doing right now? Atlanta's huge. Atlanta's doing all kinds of video.
I've heard, yeah.
You know, and it's like, why not? Why not give us tax incentives and give us things that brings people here, that gives us talent? Because Louisville talent is a creative community.
I agree.
You know, there's a
Totally
lot of
agree.
makes artists, there's production
Huge.
crews, there's
You know
actors.
Bethany Hood. You remember?
I do.
You know,
I
she.
do.
You know, she jetted. You know, she's in L.A. now, doing
Yeah.
her thing, and yeah, she's fucking amazing. I mean, she was hot here,
Yeah.
and I'm sure she's
Well,
doing her thing out there. And
I do have a friend that I'm still communicating with. We're about to drop a movie called Let's Eat, and that's TZ Hall, and he's out in LA right now. I talked to him earlier today, and he's doing some good things. He's mixing in with Sony, and he plans on doing some better things for Louisville too.
Right. Yeah.
He always tries to pull in some people. They're low budget movies. When he was here in Louisville, they was low budget. But he's got such a creative mind. He's went to LA now, and he's got some people involved with him that's backing him, putting some money into his ideals.
Right.
And it's about time. That's great. And he's still going to bring a lot of Louisville people into that mix.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing. When anybody can pay it forward or give back to
Always.
what we do, that's great. Whoever listens or don't listen to this podcast, it's not really about that. It's the fact that we're still out here. We're doing things. We're trying. We're trying to keep our communications going. We're trying to keep people in our loop.
Well,
Trying to support each other and say, hey, I'm into creative endeavors.
Right.
What do you got? What can I help you with? What can we work on? How can we collaborate to make our community bigger and better?
Right. And not that I'm some kind of a voice for the voiceless, but
When it comes to podcasts, you do have the main podcast there in Louisville. I can't say that. I can't say that.
I want it to be. I want my podcast to be the most badass, and I've got always. I want to bring on people who can come on and tell good conversations, but I also want to give people a platform to shoot the shit, tell people what you are, what we are. Because here's the thing, we've got a lot of music friends. We don't need to leave this town. I really don't. I'll speak for myself. I don't need to leave Louisville to find a music to appease me. There's so much talent in town. Same with the film industry.
I'm just going to be completely honest. I hooked in with A Big Productions right here in Louisville.
Yeah.
I didn't go to L.A. to do that.
You don't
I didn't
have
go to
to.
New York to do
But
that.
I guess where I'm going with this is that we need people who are in that power or have that capability to not lose, to take care of our own, to give the people here a platform, give them something so they don't have to leave. There's, you don't lose the talent, don't lose the money.
California has enough homeless people as it is.
That's exactly.
Don't go out there and try to succeed.
You
Succeed
don't.
before
No,
you get there.
Exactly.
And that should be anything you do. If you're good enough at whatever you're doing, you will get noticed.
You will.
You don't have to go somewhere to be noticed. You just got to be good at what you're doing. Pursue it. Work hard.
Work hard.
Work
Put
hard.
the
Number
effort
one.
into it.
Put
Right.
the effort into it.
But at the same time, too, some of it is who you know. You
can't
can't
lie.
It is.
I can't lie.
So it is. But once you get that opportunity, you got to run with it. You got to own it, and then make that person not, regret giving you that opportunity at the same time too.
Sure.
When I say you, I'm a general statement.
Of course.
So, but you're doing your thing. So.
Well, I'm trying. I mean, but as far as busy, I do stay busy. If anybody keeps up with me on social things like that, I'm always
see
doing
it, yeah.
something, man. But that's because I'm always willing to help.
Yeah.
I'm not so picky to where it's like I'll just turn something down just because I don't think that you're there yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, let me see if I can help you be creative. Maybe we can make it there together. Whatever
See,
it is.
one thing about you I think is cool is that you're proof that, with the modeling and the acting, all this has kind of come at this time of your life. I'm
Later
not calling
in my
you
life.
later in your life.
Yeah.
And I'm not, you're still younger than me.
But still,
but you're in your
I ain't
40.
20.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I'm
so
40 years old.
That whole misconception that male models, you're in your 20s, blah blah blah. No, you're proof that shit can happen if you.
I mean, if you look through the resumes there and the portfolios, you can see it's just nonstop.
Yeah.
So I constantly get work, even from
But
our
you're
local
really
communities.
enjoying what you're doing right now.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just
It's good to be.
I just did a Louisville
It's good to be
shoot.
Billy Smith right now.
It is. It is. I just did something for Travis Lay, and they own Louisville, and they own the T-shirts. They put them out there for everybody, and I got to do an advertisement for him just this past week. And to reach out to me about it was awesome. So that shows that also our gay community here in Louisville cares about what I do enough to where even if I'm not gay, they still know that I respect my Louisville. I respect our communities to where I want everybody to have that equal voice. And I think love is love, man. So I was so glad they reached out to me, and they said, "Hey, come out, and we want you to represent some of our brand shirts." And I thought that was just, to me, that was love. To me, that was like, wow. You know, if I was already known as being gay or something like that, I could understand.
Yeah.
But for them to just reach across the board and say, "We know you're not, but we want to work with you. We want to do some things with you." I thought that was amazing. Because it showed
It's
that,
the way it
should
be.
Well, yeah, but they don't have a preference either. Is what they're
Exactly.
showing. They're
Right.
not looking at me like, "Oh, you
Exactly.
have to be
Yeah,
gay
yeah,
to be
right.
to work with us or be our friends."
Right.
That ain't right. And there's so many people out here that's just, I mean, they just take too much time out of their life worrying about judging people. Save that shit, man.
You brought up love, and love is a good thing.
It is.
Love is in everything. It should be in everything. But
It's
hear
here
me
right
out.
now, sitting on the other side of the
I'm
table
with you,
for
and
you.
I'm
all about
happy
it.
for you.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna. You mentioned the political word, and I'm gonna bring this up because I'm curious to know how you feel. This past weekend, mass shootings,
Yeah.
hate. See, where I'm going with this. We're talking love, but all that shit was out of hate. How do we fucking get past that? Or is
What there is, there's this thing called, if you take the time to really sit back and put yourself in another human being's shoes without worrying about what the color of the person is, how much money they make, how smart they are, how much family-oriented goals are in their life. If you just take time to say, look, a human being is doing the same things you're doing. We're just trying to be happy in this world, in this life. Everybody's looking for happiness.
Right.
For somebody to say, I can't find it, and so I want to take the fact that I haven't found happiness yet and turn it into hate, is what usually happens. They're mad because they're not happy. Of course.
Yeah.
So they're not happy, so they want to turn it into hate. They want to find a reason to use it as a tool. You know, and that's what happened. I mean, this guy wanted to turn the fact that he wanted to fit in so bad.
Yeah. But without getting too political,
Wow.
is our leadership putting that, spinning that that rhetoric that we get from, we don't have to get too deep. But here, my point is,
All I can say is this: everybody does complain about who the president is, and I say this: you did vote for him. The
Some of
majority,
us.
the majority of the people that was out here around us did.
Well, here,
and so
sure.
we can all bitch about it now,
Yeah.
but it's done happened. It's over with.
Yeah.
So here's the thing: instead of spending all that energy bitching about the fact that he is in office, maybe do some more thinking about who we're going to put in office next.
right.
You know,
There you
okay,
go.
we made a mistake.
Yeah.
I honestly think it was a
Fair
mistake.
enough. Yeah.
I mean,
I'm with you. I'm totally with you.
Okay, you made a mistake.
But at the same
what are you
time-
going to do to change it? Are more people going to vote this time? Or
I
more people
get-
going to get involved with
get-
the idea of
I get why-
what we need to do
why
as
that
far
mistake was
finding
made.
a leader?
Yeah.
You know?
They wanted change. They wanted, to go to different direction.
I mean, when it comes to politics, man, that shit's so scary
is.
because it,
Well, here's the thing, too.
we can't really conceive a lot of the way unless you're in that boat.
Right.
We're not going to conceive how things are really run. We're not going to know what's really going on, who's pulling what strings for real.
My concern, this is my concern, is that, these mass shootings, we had 2 huge mass shootings over the
Wasn't
last
it
few days.
14 people that was killed?
Yeah, and then several. But here's the thing.
I mean,
they're
just
happening
at the
so
Walmart,
they're
right? It was
happening
14, something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
I mean,
Walmart.
God
They're
bless.
happening so frequent that I'm afraid that sooner than later it's going to impact someone that I care about, someone that I love or care or know is going to get caught in the crossfire because somebody believes that their hate or their views.
Well, it's
is,
definitely real.
Yeah,
I, for example, like I said, I worked CMA this year. I also worked the Taste of Cincinnati, to where Budweiser brought me out to represent their brand. And while I'm around them events, sometimes I do get that eerie feeling about me, like, is somebody going to try to set off a bomb? Is somebody going to just walk in here with a gun and try to shoot? Because it's huge crowds. And there isn't really that kind of control to where somebody can't or can't. And you get into places like that. But that's because the way society's been going with all that, it makes you think that. You think, well, at any time, something crazy like it can just pop off. If you get into a big crowd of people. Now the guy's going into Walmart and doing it. It's like, oh, shit. You know what I mean? I was at Walmart today, and a stepson of mine that I helped raise.
Staying with the Walmart thing, didn't the person who went into Walmart also kill his sister? Did I hear that right? And I'll have to look at this.
Yeah,
and
look that up.
the rhetoric, what I heard too is that if that's true, it's because his sister, he's white, his sister was talking to a black guy. That's what I'd heard. And see, that's how fucking sick.
I'm sorry. If I was going to break things down about race, obviously I'm darker skinned than some black people, to be honest. I can put my hand up to most mixed people, and I'm darker than them.
Exactly.
So when it comes to the race thing, the race card with me is really out the window because I'm not exactly white.
No.
Even though my grandfather was on the Grand Ole Opry, one of the first 10 members, he actually gave Roy Acuff his start, who gave Hank Williams his start. That's true shit. You can look that shit up.
Story.
Yes,
Oh, wow.
yes. My grandfather was a drinker, and he lost a couple spots on the Grand Ole Opry because of his habit.
Okay.
Yeah. But he put out a lot of music,
Yeah.
and a lot of people re-recorded his stuff. Nirvana actually re-recorded My Girl. My girl, don't lie to me. That's my grandfather's
He gives
song.
good pillow talk, doesn't he?
Okay, that's my grandfather's song. It was called In the Pines. And he re-recorded it, changed a couple of words to it and this and that, but BMI...
What do you not do?
BMI still had, I don't quit.
Okay.
I don't quit.
You're not a quitter.
I'm not a quitter.
All right.
That's one thing I don't do. I'm not a quitter. Even when I'm losing, I'm not a quitter. I still want to stay in the game until at least you get the recognition for beating me. You know, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to make you win that battle, whatever it is. So I'm not a quitter. But then again, I mean, I come from a type of, upbringing where, I mean, they didn't accept it in you. You know, it's like you had to keep going, okay? You know, it's one of them things.
We're going to wrap this up. This last little segment I do is...
And I'll just over-talk Nicole the whole time.
I'm going to let her participate in this. This is my
Okay,
little...
good.
It's a little rapid fire that I call round of shots. It's
Okay.
just kind of quick Q&A.
Do we actually get shots on this?
Yeah, we'll do one. We'll do one afterward.
Okay.
Promise. I'll start with you. First concert you attended?
Taylor Swift.
Was it Taylor Swift?
Yeah, it was.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
What was your first concert?
My first concert, White Zombie.
Oh wow.
Yep. White Zombie.
Start with you. If you could be stuck in an elevator with a celebrity, who would it be?
Oh, but any means Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Jeff Goldblum.
He's a good one. That's a good one.
Monica would love you on that. She loved Jeff Goldblum.
That's badass.
Y'all remember him from Fly?
The Fly,
my
yeah.
goodness.
That was
God
great.
bless.
If you had a superpower, what would it be?
Don't think too hard.
Probably to read minds.
You want to be a mind reader?
What about you? Superpower.
Me would probably if I could change somebody's emotion.
Really?
Yeah, if I could make you go from if I could just like point and just make you this, like
Okay.
extremely happy or
Oh,
whatever.
I like it. Scar. Give me your best / weirdest Scar story.
I still have buckshots in me. Yes.
From
a shotgun.
well, no, from
She's
well, what
felt
was
them.
this-
She's felt them.
What-
Yeah, they're still in me. You can still feel them. Yeah, I got shot before. Yeah. Me and my best friend, we was running from somebody, and they shot. He had some in his head and his back too. And his grandpa used to be like a World War vet.
All right, this is a two-parter. I'm going to schedule him for some more crazy shit from his
Oh
back.
yeah, we didn't really get into stories, but I got
No, I'm going to say that we
yeah,
need to do that.
yeah, that's of course, I got a big 6-inch scar right here in my eye. If you see that, it goes all the way down my eye
I
there.
can see now.
But the buckshots in my body are probably the ones that ring the bell the most as far as
Does
my
it?
scar.
Speaking of does it ring the bell when you go through airport?
Does
Does it go off?
I don't think it
No,
does.
Okay.
That I know of. I mean,
right.
most of them I got most of them extracted, but I still have some in me.
You have a weird Scar story? You're perfect, aren't you? But now I'm even more curious.
It really is.
What's it like feeling the buckshots? Where are these buckshots?
They were in your calf, aren't they?
Some of them,
Or-
yeah.
yeah.
I still got some in my calf.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
This is what it is.
I don't know who to start. I'm gonna start with you. Pizza fan? Pizza?
Yeah.
Give me your perfect pizza topping.
Nothing really, because I don't eat pork, and a lot of the meat that comes on it is pork. So
So you cheese pizza.
yeah, I know it's boring.
That's
Come
boring.
on, Billy. What's your perfect pizza topping?
I'm a fucking meat lover, man.
You
I'm a
want-
carnivore all the way around. I'll eat a goat. I don't care. Cut it up and put it on the pizza. I'll eat it.
All right. Let's see. If you had access to it, Billy, you had access to a time machine that can go anywhere in the past to observe, not to change the past, just to go hang out and check out something that that you were always been interested in seeing firsthand. Where would you go?
Of course, I'd probably go back to the era of the Aztecs, I would think. The Aztecs is pretty interesting to see. That in my mind is just picture how these people lived back then would just be amazing in my mind, how they were so just in full belief of certain things. That
How smart they actually were.
well, there was a lot of things going on there. It was just like, okay, how did y'all know to do this?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. What
Without
about you?
technology, you know.
I like the 70s. I like
Do you?
the style. I just like everything about
Love
it.
child.
She definitely is. She loves wearing. Her style is amazing. I love her style.
All right, these last three are these probably are the most important.
This has been fun, by the way. This,
I'm
you
good. I'm
you
glad
are
you
good
came.
at what you
No,
do.
I'm glad to hang out.
say
You know what,
that
I'm
in
glad that
full honesty.
we figured
you're
our little
you
thing
are
out.
good at what you do.
I appreciate that.
You are.
This is these last three questions are arguably the most important questions. Period to ask. I'll start with you. And the first two are yes or no, and we don't need to go. We can just go yes or no. We don't have to explain. First one: is there a God?
Yes.
Yes.
Are we alone in the universe?
No.
Say. And the third one, the last one, and you can elaborate a little bit, not too deep. What happens when we die?
You know,
Does this
I'm a
flip
Catholic
switch?
girl, but I
So
mean,
heaven is that? Do you,
I want to think that there is.
okay. No. You think, but what do you, I mean? Is that your belief? I mean, you really okay? What happens when we die?
I honestly think we transcend. I think we transcend either to a more powerful being, which is more connected with just things we cannot conceive yet. Meaning, us as humans, we can't conceive what happens once we're not human no more. But I don't think our soul or our being or our mind stops.
Gotcha.
I think it continues to evolve into something new now. So it's pretty much, I feel like this is just a stage, just like if we was sperm, that was a stage of us,
Yeah.
was it not?
It's a
So, I
continued
mean,
evolution of us.
Okay,
Is
well,
that what
they
you're
can talk about the God particle all they want,
Yeah.
but honestly, there's people do not know how we really evolved into what we're. They can say it's a Big Bang, it's this, it's that, but where does that come from then?
Exactly, right.
Come on, there's
Yeah.
always something
There's
else.
a-
So I
it's
just
a-
don't
right.
think we're able to conceive it
Mhm.
with what we are as humans.
Mhm.
I don't think we're able to
Same.
conceive what happens. But do I think it stops? No.
No.
I think we transcend.
What I do, I'll go back to the alone in the universe. I honestly think in our lifetime, and this
pretty
has been,
obvious.
it's yeah.
We're not alone.
But
Look in the ocean, man.
You look at
craziest
all the-
aliens out there
I mean,
right here with us.
Yeah. But all these if you've seen like the Air Force recently released this video of all these unidentified flying objects that they track. I think we're going to get the answer, true answer.
Is that where we're getting all this 51 craze right now?
Well, some of that.
That
yeah,
seemed like
yeah.
Facebook was blowing up
It
for
was.
weeks about
Somebody
Area
did the
51.
storming,
I even
yeah.
had people messaging me through my messages saying, "Do you want to go with us?" It's like,
There was literally millions of people, and the person who actually initiated that post took it down and came out in an interview and said it was just a joke. Don't do it, because the truth is, it's a restricted place. People
Yeah,
would
it
do
does.
that. They could die.
Yeah.
They could get
Shot.
Yeah.
Yes, you're going to get shot.
Yeah.
You are.
The
If you
signs
raid that-
say,
yes.
no.
Yes, they're going to
that kind
shoot
of-
you.
Yeah, they're gonna shoot
Do
you.
not go down there with 51 people and try to barge in the gate. It's not going to work out for you.
Billy, thanks for hanging out with me.
Dude, I had a ball. This has been
we'll do it
fun.
again because I do think there's
Time flew.
Time
flew.
Yeah, we're
And
over now.
I'm a talker. I'm sorry.
No,
people.
no, it's
I'm
that's
an
what
Aquarius.
it is.
I should have let Nicole talk more. I should have let him talk more.
You know what? How about
I'm
this?
sorry,
You
folks.
Just schedule your own podcast. We'll do it that way. Yeah. We'll put him there.
Yeah.
In
yeah.
a jacket.
Can I be your guest?
What's the mask Anthony Hobson?
Oh, yeah, we definitely
wore
wore them. Oh, my goodness.
Muzzle him up, and he'll be.
Muzzle me. And you just unlock it whenever you're asking me a question.
But I think we'll get you back because there's more stories that you can tell.
yeah, we just kind of broke the ice, to be honest. Yeah,
Thanks, man.
for sure.
All right. Good
Loved
stuff,
it.
man.